Have you ever walked away from a conversation, feeling confused, guilty, or like you messed up, but couldn't quite explain why? Well, that might not be a coincidence. There are people, some charming, some quiet, who use dark psychology to manipulate you without you even knowing it. Let's break down 10 of the sneakiest tricks they use, and how you can protect yourself. 1. Guilt tripping. This one's sneaky because it feels like love or care, but it's actually control. When someone guilt trips you, they try to make you feel bad just for doing what's best for you. Example. Let's say you can't help a friend right now. They hit you with, "Wow, after everything I've done for you?" It sounds emotional, but what they're really saying is, "You owe me." Why it works? Because most people don't want to be seen as selfish. But the truth is, healthy relationships don't keep score. 2. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the most dangerous tricks, because it messes with your mind. The manipulator denies things they did or said, so you start doubting yourself. Let me give you an example. You say, "You shouted at me yesterday." And they go, "That never happened." You're being dramatic again. Now you're wondering, did I make that up? Why it's powerful? Because over time, you stop trusting your own memory. And when that happens, they're in full control. 3. The silent treatment. This isn't someone needing space, it's someone punishing you with silence. They ignore your texts, calls, your presence, until you break down and say sorry, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Why they do it? Because silence creates anxiety. And the longer it goes on, the more you feel like you must have caused it. But here's the truth. Real love doesn't use silence as a weapon. It uses words. 4. Love bombing. At first, it feels amazing. They say you're their soulmate, flood you with compliments, maybe even gifts. You think, wow, this person really gets me. But then, suddenly, they start to change. Now they say things like, "Why are you always talking to other people?" Or, "If you really loved me, you'd quit that job." You didn't fall in love, you fell into a trap. Remember, real love builds slowly. If it feels too good to be true in the beginning, it probably is. 5. Triangulation. This one creates jealousy, insecurity, and competition. They bring someone else into the dynamic, maybe an ex, a friend, even a made-up person, and make you feel like you're not enough. For example, they say, "My ex never complained like you do," or "Even my boss thinks you're too emotional." Suddenly, you're trying to prove your worth, while they sit back and watch. What's really happening? They're controlling the relationship by making you feel replaceable. 6. Playing the victim. Manipulators hate being wrong. So when you confront them, they turn it around. They're the one who's hurt, scared, or misunderstood. Example. You say, "You lied to me." They respond, "I only lied because I didn't want to lose you." Now you feel guilty for calling out their behavior. Here's the trick. They're using your empathy against you. 7. Intermittent reinforcement. This one creates emotional addiction. They give you just enough love to keep you hooked, but never enough to feel secure. Let's say one day, they tell you you're the best thing in their life. The next day, they ignore you or criticize you. Now you're chasing that good feeling, hoping it'll come back. And the reason this works is because your brain starts craving that reward, like a gambler chasing a win. 8. Projection. This is when they accuse you of the exact thing they're doing. It's not just irony, it's manipulation. For instance, they say, "Why are you acting shady? Who are you texting?" Meanwhile, they're the one hiding something. Why do they do it? To flip the spotlight. If you're defending yourself, you're not watching them. 9. Information overload. This is common in scams and toxic workplaces. They bombard you with fast talk, fancy terms, or too many details, so you stop questioning and just agree. Okay, so with this plan, your 100K becomes 500K in 6 months through blockchain stacking and DeFi protocols. Sounds smart, right? But it's designed to confuse you. But the thing is, if someone doesn't want you to understand, it's a red flags. 10. Anchoring. This is a classic sales trick, but people use it emotionally too. They show you something terrible first, so their real offer seems great by comparison. For example, I usually charge 300K, but for you, just 150K. Now 150K feels like a deal, even if it's not. In relationships, they treat you badly, then do something slightly nice, and suddenly, you're grateful. But here's the truth. Better than terrible is still not good enough. Here's the scary part, these tactics don't always come from strangers. Sometimes it's your boss, your partner, or even someone you trust. But now, you know the signs. And once you see these tricks, you can't unsee them. So protect your mind. Set boundaries. And remember, manipulation only works if you let it. Subscribe for more psychological truths they don't want you to know.